Hey, folks, my guest today is Nisheeth. He's on a mission to reimagine HR using technology and drive workplace happiness while helping organizations improve productivity. After a career spanning 2 decades, of which 17 years were in senior HR roles, he founded WeSoar.ai to break the status quo in HR using conversational AI. Nisheeth, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Okay, so who's paying for WeSoar? Is it folks, any company that's hiring?
We are a performance management platform and employee engagement platform. We have 11 paying customers so far.
Congrats on your first 10. That's great.
Thank you. In about 1 year of having some form of a product. Yeah, but the product is still getting built out. So we've got 11 paying customers. We've bootstrapped so far. We've got a couple of angel investors.
How much did you raise on the angel side?
External funding is 205K. The founders put together contributed 310K.
What was that like? I mean, is 310,000 a lot for you? I mean, is it a big risk for you or no?
It is a huge risk.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Will your spouse leave you if this company fails?
And she wouldn't leave, kind of putting the pressure on me every single day till I succeed.
All right. And how many founders? Is it you and one other founder? How many founders?
I have a co-founder who's an ex-colleague. So we used to work together in our last job for 5 years. And then we kind of decided to kind of put this up together. We have a third member in the team, a core team, who's our CTO. The CTO is based in India. My co-founder is based in Dubai. I'm based in London. So we kind of manage.
But just the two founders, though, put in 300K total.
Yeah. That's
and right. Did you guys split equity 50-50 at the start or no?
So I put in 260, my founder put in 50, my co-founder.
Okay, so you got more.
Yeah. And then I've also been on a no salary structure for 2.5 years now.
Yep. So you started coding this tool back in what, early 2020?
Early 2020. March 2020 is when we had our first set of engineers, exactly 3 weeks before COVID.
So, wow. Okay. And the angel round, you did 205,000 pre-seed round. What year was that?
We actually closed the round just about 2 weeks ago. So it was an open round. The first angel investor was my skip level manager in my last job. So the CEO of the bank that I used to work in Dubai, he was the first angel investor. The treasurer of the bank came in second. And then we had a partner in PwC who came in third. So we've just got three angel investors. Yeah.
I love that.
It's been a kind of constant grind, basically managing a very tight cost ship. Obviously not, it wasn't the best time to raise money. It wasn't the best time to sell because we lost like 3 or 4 quarters to COVID. So when you lose 50% of your total time to factors completely outside your control, it's a very different ballgame.
I understand. And so that 205,000 you raised, how much equity did you sell to investors when you raised that?
2.6%.
2.6. Okay, that's not too bad. So what is that? That's a 205 times 50. That would be what, like a 10 million?
10 million valuation. Yeah.
10 million valuation.
Free money. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big valuation for 11 customers. Do you have how much revenue are you doing today?
So all put together. So we have consulting and we have subscription. So obviously we've got 2 components, and initially it's difficult to kind of ramp up subscription that quickly. So subscription is fairly small. We're talking about, without any enterprise customer, we're talking about 15K ARR. But with consulting, we've managed an average revenue of about 15K per month.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free, by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay. Yellow is what private equity. And red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise. They sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. Okay, got it. So you're doing right now, like last year, right now, last month, you did about 15,000 in consulting and about 1,000 in true recurring monthly revenue.
14 plus one. Let's put it that way. We've done everything a bootstrap founder has to do in order to keep the lights on.
No, I think it's great. You've managed dilution nicely because you raised it at 10. I mean, my real question is, how were you able to negotiate a 10 million valuation with only 12K of ARR?
See, the kind of traction is not so much in terms of existing revenue. The traction is in terms of the partnerships we are trying to build. So our business model is a little bit different. We are not another HR tech startup trying to sell to SMBs. We are looking to sell to the enterprise space, and we are trying to do it through our partner network. So in terms of the partner network, we've got Microsoft, we've got Oracle, we've got advanced discussions with SAP, and discussions with Workday going to commence next week. On the consulting side, we've got partnerships with PwC, a regional Middle East focused consulting firm, and we are in discussions with other firms like Aon and Mercer and Ernst & Young. So our kind of traction is more in the partnership route, because once you get these partners on board and they understand your value, selling to a enterprise that they are already kind of engaged with is not that difficult.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So 11 customers on the platform today, and how are you upselling them? Is it based off number of employees they have, or what's that stat?
Yes. So the subscription is basically on a per user per month kind of a value. So it's a typical SaaS model. But yeah, so far our kind of lights have been on through consulting, but consulting not in any space, consulting in the space that is adjacent to our product. So we do consulting in performance management, in employee engagement, in workforce redesign, etc.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Got it. And so today, obviously, you've raised 200K from pre-seed angels. You've put in 300K personally as the founder. How much are you burning per month right now?
Burning about 25K a month.
Does that make you nervous?
Not entirely, because this is pretty much the lowest we could have gone down to. Maybe we could go down by another 3 or 4K, but that would be like cutting down into the bones.
Yeah.
But what we are excited about is the fact that we've now reached a stage where the product is absolutely ready and tested and mature. So we are not trying to sell a half-baked product to an enterprise, and it's a different ballgame. If you want to sell to SMBs, they don't ask you difficult questions. They don't ask you to fill a 40-item information security checklist. But when you do want to sell to an enterprise, you have to be ready for that. And we are ready for that.
That makes sense. The team today, how many folks are full-time?
We've got about 11 people full-time.
11.
Yeah.
And how many of those are engineers?
Except 7. So there are 4 non-technical people and the rest are all engineers.
Got it. And are they based in India?
They're all based in India.
With your CTO?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Which city?
We've got a development center in India.
Which city?
It's a place called Indore. It's in central India. It's a smaller town, but it's a good town. And the reason why we chose Indore over, say, Bangalore is because it's a much lower cost of operations and the workforce is a lot more stable.
I just interviewed a founder with senior engineers in Bangalore. He told me that he pays his senior engineers $100,000 per year, which is really high. What do you pay a senior engineer in Edor?
About 30% of that.
Wow. So it's about 30,000 a year.
Yeah.
Wow. Big difference.
So
Okay. Well, that
there's
means
a big, I know because I have a lot of friends in Bangalore who are in the tech space, and what they pay to a fresher is what we can get a person with 5 years or 6 years of experience.
yeah, it's really, and why hasn't Freshworks, Netcore, ChargeBee, why haven't they opened offices in Edor if they're such cheap talent?
So I'll tell you what, I think it is going to become a lot more prevalent going forward with people working remotely, because see, earlier what used to happen was the moment you would hit a certain threshold, you would like to set up your own full dedicated office. You would be constrained by a 10-mile radius in which you hire people, and you would always want to be close to where the founder is based. So that was one of the constraints. Now, I don't live in Indore, and I don't care where my people work. They could be working in Vietnam tomorrow or Ukraine, and I have no problems with that. So we have kind of looked at it from a complete remote perspective as well. And the second thing is, at this point of time, we are not looking to hire 200 engineers. And that may be difficult in a place like Indore if you have to be really picky and choosy. But if you have to get 15 engineers or 20 engineers, that's fine.
I see. Interesting, Nisheeth. Well, we're rooting for you. Eager to see how you grow here as you land more customers and get your next 10 signed up. But in the meantime, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite book?
The Black Swan.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I want to take the best from everyone, but my favorite is Steve Jobs.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building WeSoar?
HubSpot right now.
Yeah,
that's the tool I use every day.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get each night?
6.
And what's
Sometimes
your situation?
4.
What's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married with 2 daughters.
2 kids. Okay, and how old are you?
I am turning 44 in a week.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
All right. And last question, what's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
I was quite happy-go-lucky. I wanted to become the Prime Minister of India when I was around that age. Then I
still can.
Realized, I found a better pursuit and probably a better utilization of my time.
Guys, there you have it. WeSoar.ai launched in 2020 as a consulting business. They still do about $15,000 a month today in consulting, but are building their SaaS now, $1,000 a month from 11 customers. They're burning 25 grand a month from $300,000 the founders both put in, and $200,000 they raised out of seed round. They only sold 2.6% of the business though at a 10 million valuation. So super healthy cap table management. Again, as they look to break into this space of employee performance management here rapidly. We'll see what happens next. Nisheeth, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company, or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them, and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.